Before we get into it, I want to quickly thank Mythia Valencrest for putting together this video even as a brand new videographer. Myth has been a big supporter since pretty much the beginning of Eorzeon, and has really stepped up to keep content going while I've been swamped with other projects. Myth is also starting to get back into streaming, so please drop some time, a sub, and some love to the creator of today's video. This might be hard to believe, but Final Fantasy XIV is a social game. I mean, social activity takes place within it. I mean, people chat. Like, a lot. There are a lot of channels and functionality to chat, so let's break it down so you don't find yourself wishing there was a feature that already exists. Number 1. How to chat. Okay, it's pretty simple. Press enter, start typing, press enter to send. Easy peasy, right? For keyboard users, most likely. I have seen a few people get really confused about why their character couldn't move, and anytime they tried to move or open a window, the chat would start firing. The culprit is this stinking setting right here called Enable Direct Chat. It means that anytime you press a key, it will type that key rather than engage with whatever keybind exists. Who would want that? Well, players who use both a keyboard and a controller. See, they'd use their controller to move and act, so the keyboard would just be for typing. It eliminates having to open with enter. Fine. For those who play on controller without a keyboard, the process is less fun. You navigate by back or select to the chat bar, hit confirm, then use the on-screen keyboard to type. For both keyboard and controller, using the auto-translate feature can help with time or spelling. Auto-translate has 3 functions. The first is as its name states. Anything entered via auto-translate, noted by these red and green arrows, will show up in the recipient's default language. This is an encyclopedia of terms though, and not a translation function of whatever you type. The second function is built on that encyclopedia idea too, and that is that if you don't know how to spell something, but know how it starts, you can type the first letters, hit the auto-translate button, tab by default on keyboard, and it will pop up with the thing you're looking for. And the third thing is that the lookup feature means that you can also use it to save time on long entries too. Number 2, chat separation by channel. So now you know how to type, but it's also important to type to the right people. You can switch between a number of channels the old-fashioned way by using this button here, or use keybinds to switch to a channel of choice. You'll note that in the chat keybinds, there's basically 2 sets. One for switch to channel X, and one for temporarily switch to channel X. The difference is that hard switching will set your chat bar to that channel, and it will stay there after the message is sent. Temporarily will snap to the channel for one entry, and then return to the channel you were on. For example, I keep my chat channel set to party so I can always talk to my team. But if I want to send a message quickly to my free company, all I have to do is hit the keybind, type my message, and hit enter, and I'm already back to party. I find this to be the most helpful setup I've tried. You can cancel the temporary switch with escape too, or overwrite which channel you're on with keybind. Now let's break down the channel types so you know who sees what. Number 1, say. Say is essentially what your character could say and be heard. It's a small radius around your character only. The limit is about this far. The quick channel command is /s. Number 2, yell. A much further radius, but not the whole zone. It covers about this far, though that's a little tricky to really pin down. The quick channel command is /y. Number 3, shout. Use when necessary, because this goes to everyone in the entire zone you're in. Letting people know that a mark has spawned is an example of everyone needs to know this. Whatever you have to say in Limsa is probably not. Your bot-driven nightclub advertisement is going to annoy 100% of the people, so good job. The quick channel command is /sh. Number 4, party. Party will reach anyone you're partied with regardless of distance, even if it's a cross-world party. It's the typical communication method in a dungeon or trial. The quick channel command is /p. Number 5, alliance. Same, but to the whole alliance in alliance raids. Or for some reason if you're making an alliance outside of that. In raids, mechanics that are specific to your party should go in party, while mechanics that affect everyone are fine here. The quick channel command is /a. Number 6, tell. This is a private message between you and the recipient. The quick channel command is /t for a new tell, and /r for a tell to the last person to send you a tell. Number 7, free company. We'll go to every member of the free company, regardless of place. If you're in a large free company, this can potentially be cumbersome, so we'll soon address some ways to help with that. Number 8, you can use /novice or /n to chat in the novice network. which is a thing that I recommend leaving as soon as you start because, at the time of this video, it's pretty much a cesspool that won't help you learn. Hopefully that changes, but for now, find a friend, join a free company, or ask for help in the Eorzeon Discord. Number 9. Echo is just a message to yourself. You can type /e and a message, and it will only show up for you. Some handy uses could be mechanics reminders for content, what was I doing before I went AFK message, or therapeutic yelling at your friends. Number 10. There is a PvP chat channel, but I've never once seen it used. You might end up being different if you become a big PvP player, but I feel like most people just use Party and Alliance. Number 11. And last but certainly not least is link shells. There are 2 kinds of link shells, and each kind has 8 different channels you can work with, so 16. A regular link shell is formed and disbanded by talking to one of these Moogles in the main cities. It can only include people on your world, so it's good for things that can be limited, like a specific raiding party that only exists on that world, or a group of real-life friends who want an exclusive chat channel. You should make any link shell that can be limited to one world a standard link shell, because cross-world link shells are more flexible in who can be in them. They're also easier to work with overall, not requiring a Moogle. Link shells of either kind are invitation channels, and the person receiving them may not even know that they got an invitation. The invitee has to enter the link shell menu or crossworld link shell menu and right-click the invited shell, then accept. Either will send messages to the entire link shell, regardless of location, and crossworlds don't care what world you're on. Crossworlds are great for coordinating meetings, keeping in touch with friends from other worlds who can't be in your free company, etc. The quick commands for link shells are /L 1 through 8 and /CWL 1 through 8. /L or /CWL will go to the active link shell, which means the one that you last chatted in. I like to keep my link shells to crossworld only, and I keep to only a few. I utilize hotkeys to temporarily reply to different channels. For example, I have L that opens my crossworld link shell menu to see who's on. I could also have link shells that are used for callouts and raids, or for hunt marks that I don't respond to, and those wouldn't need a keybind. The more link shells you have, the more tricky this becomes, but it's been very handy for me so far. I also utilize semicolon for free company menu, and control semicolon to temporarily switch to a free company chat. After all these, my channel goes right back to party, so that if I'm in a dungeon or just partied up with friends, it's on the channel I want. Let's talk about chat log filtering. Naturally, with all these channels of communication and system messages on top of that, the chat can get pretty overwhelming at times. Luckily, you have 4 chat logs to separate messages if you want. They're titled General, Battle, Event, and Chat on my bar. The 3rd and 4th one are renameable, but you can set them up however you like. Inside the chat log settings, you can click on one of the log filter buttons to turn on or off messages of varying types. If you find system messages annoying, you can turn them off in the General tab. But maybe you also like to know if certain system messages fired. You can leave those turned on for another chat log and switch to C. You don't have to stick with the battle, event, chat formula. You could have one of these entirely dedicated to hunt callouts. What's more, you can even separate this chat log from the chat window, and since you'd never respond to it, you can leave that up at all times in a separate place, keeping an eye on both general chat and callouts. You can resize separated windows too, so you could use this to be only 2 lines high. Perfect! Notification sounds. What if you don't want to keep an eye on alerts? How about keeping an ear on alerts? In the log window settings, there's a tab for notification sounds. Each channel, including all 16 link shells, can be assigned a sound. Some of these are great, others not so much. And there aren't enough sounds for every channel option to have a unique sound. But if you're not using sounds to differentiate between channels, you're missing out on a great feature. I always want to know when my party members are saying something, because maybe the healer just had to drop out for a second, or I'm learning new mechanics. But party chat comes so often, I don't want to be bombarded with this. Using a simple sound for party is wonderful. Using other sounds to signify other chat channels is helpful for either A, knowing when a conversation I'm keeping track of has been updated, or B, ignoring anything but the right channels in content. You can also use these numbers inside a bracket like this, bracket SE.1, bracket, to play a sound effect with a message to the chosen channel. Just don't be annoying. Chat sizes. You can also have different font sizes for each window. You can have timestamps in certain log windows and not in others. Each chat log can have a different transparency setting, handy for splitting logs. Since there's only one chat bar for you to type in, there's just the one size option for that. But if you need bigger text down there, don't forget this option. Another way to help distinguish between the chat types is to vary the colors. This also keeps things organized, so if you need to scroll back through messages, you can easily tell which channel is what. Another handy tip is to activate these job plates in name display settings. It can be handy to know which class the person speaking is, and it also just looks nice and clean. There's an option for a short job code before the player name too, but I don't use that one. You can even give the player names colors based on role. These settings will only show for the party chat. While you're here, take a look at name shortening as an option. Maybe first names and last initials is just right for you to save space. Disabling the world name pop-up for cross-world chat can also save a good chunk. Did you also know that you can set this keybind, or use the shown button on controller, to expand the chat log and see a lot more? When finished, just exit. So now we've covered what you want to see and how to see it, but what about things you don't want to see? First, you have the profanity filter in log settings. While you're there, I recommend playing around with those other checkboxes too, because most people don't need a text prompt to tell them that they can't go through that height barrier. Second, you can blacklist individuals. This is found in the right-click context menu under block functions. This will stop all messages from that player from coming through. It won't stop them from pairing with you in Duty Finder, but you won't see a thing they say. Third, you can set term filters. This also allows you to cut down spam by including specific filters that gold sellers like to use. That about does it, but let's also discuss emotes. You're welcome to use the emote menu, but you can activate any emote by typing its command in the chat bar. You don't even have to press enter if you have the default slash key set. For example, you can type /dance to do your default dance. This, by default, has a text that displays with it. This can be turned off in the emote menu, so if you anticipate doing a lot of emotes, please do us all a favor and switch that off. Another way to not have the text appear is to add motion to the end of the emote like this. If instead you don't want to see other people's emotes, you can disable them in log filters. You can also use /em to do a custom emote text. There's no emote to go along with that, but by using macros, you can set a custom emote text to display, followed instantly by the macro of your choice. Make sure to use motion so it doesn't display the emote's text. For example, you could do /em watches Eorzeon on YouTube, followed by the command /tome scroll, and it will look like you're watching Eorzeon on YouTube on your phone. So what other cool stuff can you do with chat? Well, almost anything in the game. Most game actions are coded with a command like /ac fast blade to use an ability, or /check mo to open the character screen of whoever you're moused over. This list of text commands allows you to find some neat things. These are also the commands you would use inside macros. Some that I frequently use are /gpose, /afk, and /mastervolume with a number to make things quiet, or loud. You can also use /playtime if you want to trigger an early midlife crisis. You might also want to use a command that you just used. When your chat bar is active, you can scroll upward to get old entries. You could continuously paint red at your feet with paint red, enter, up, enter. Just be sure to either have the emote log off or use paint red motion to avoid spam. This scrolling thing also comes with a handy down arrow clear function. Already typed 20 words, but now your response isn't needed? Don't backspace, just push up, then down. Or accidentally open the chat prompt mid-battle and now all your action hotkeys are doing nothing but adding to your masterpiece novel to be? Definitely don't backspace that. You could just hit enter and make sure your party knows that 12E21QSEW1E2 is in fact happening, or you could hit up, down, and enter and be a chat goof pro. And last but not least, actually probably least, you can use /clearlog to wipe your chat. Not sure why you would, but you can. And unless I'm mistaken, that should cover everything you need to know about chat. Now go forth, adventurer, and socialize.